your relationship with Cody. This
Mm-hmm.
is like you guys are thick as thieves, the two of you, and you guys
Yeah.
basically became friends while you guys were trying to put together this match for SummerSlam, right? Like you
Yeah.
wanted to get involved, you wanted to step into the ring, and you guys hooked up, and that's sort of the tale of the friendship of you two that now is so intertwined.
Yeah, he was doing a Stardust gimmick, and so he's
I
supposed
mean,
to be.
I'm pretty sure that I was the one that connected you guys, but
I think you were actually. Is that
I think I
is
was.
that? I
Yeah.
think yeah, absolutely.
I think I did. Yeah.
When did you start at WWE?
I started there in 2013 or
Yeah.
no, 2012. 2012. Yeah.
Oh my God,
I know.
2012.
I know.
Because we saw
Honestly.
each other in. Do you remember you and I watched Game 1 of the 2012 Stanley Cup Final together
Yes.
in
In Toronto.
Toronto?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was there for press and the Kings were in it, and nobody gave a shit, which is like, okay, it's weird. We're in Toronto,
Yeah.
but they don't care about the Kings and the Devils playing. So he started in 2012, and I recognized immediately that there's no way that you could possibly go in with the last name Paquette, right?
Oh God,
Impossible.
no.
Because all I could think
Absolutely not.
of was the Rougeau brothers.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So you connected us a couple of years later. So he was doing a Stardust gimmick. You guys were doing a Monday Night Raw out at Nassau Coliseum Memorial Day weekend, and it was mostly just getting an invite to go out to the show. So I came out with my buddy Drew, that you know, obviously, and Cody was like, "Hey, I just talked with Vince, and I got it approved that I get to hiss at you when I come out for my match."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay, sure." And so he hissed at me, and I did the whole, I'm coming at you type thing, and he cowered. And then I put it on social media, and then the next thing you know, we had a match going. And the match in and of itself was pretty nerve-wracking, but the most nerve-wracking element of that personally was there was a show, it was in, not Bellingham, it was just outside of, just about an hour north of Seattle. You guys were doing a Monday Night Raw, and this was a week,
Oh, and
2
like
weeks.
Everett or something.
Everett,
maybe?
Washington. That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Thank you. And so I had been with Cody that Saturday in Victoria, working on stuff in the ring, and that Sunday in Vancouver working on stuff in the ring. Like I was saying, like Arn Anderson, Kofi, Big Show, Big E, all these guys were super, 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 super helpful. Just getting all into it. And I think,
well, you were very into it, which obviously helped. I mean, they could see the fact that you were out doing house shows and like you were putting in the real work to be ready for this match. You weren't just coming in as like the celebrity to do the thing. You were invested.
Yeah. I to me, the biggest thing, apparently, according to Cody, was I just changed in the locker room with the boys. They're like, he's like, it went a long way. I'm like, oh, okay. But in Everett, Washington, so I was doing Cody comes out, does his match, he did a run in, and then he goes, he confronts me, he face washes me, but that didn't happen until hour 3 of the show. So I was the guest at Raw. I think you and I did a thing ringside, like a quick interview.
That's right.
I think
we did. Yeah.
The Miz ripped on my acting skills like 90 minutes into the show. But it's like, I've got to do this run in, and I'm just got all this adrenaline pumping. And it's like,
and how do you not smash 1 million beers before the 3rd hour of Raw?
Oh, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. What I do know is about like 2 hours in, I realized that I'm hopping the barricade and jumping into the ring, but I had been doing it earlier I'd been doing it earlier shorts, and now I'm wearing like khakis. I was like, oh my, am I going to rip my pants? I actually went into the bowels of the arena and like practiced running and jumping in these pants. So I'm sure somebody saw me and was like, what the is this person doing?
Just getting in those stunts for Arrow. That's it.
I was big into jumping into the ring, jumping up onto the apron, and Road Dogg, who was producing this segment, was like, you can't jump in the ring. You can't jump in the ring. Well, why not? Well, if you miss the first step and you fall, it's over. And I'm not going to miss the first step. I'm jumping up on the apron, and I'm hopping over the top rope. And he said, okay, cool. But if you miss the step, or if you catch your foot going over the top rope, you do not have a match.
Like Vince. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. He's like, you don't have a match at SummerSlam. He goes, it's canceled. It's done. And I go, okay, great. So yeah, so I finally did that. And I mean, I'll never forget that experience ever. I, jumped in the ring, tackled Cody. And I remember Road Dogg saying, he's a big boy. He knows how to take a hit. So lay your shoulder into him. And then when I got on top of him, I was putting the forearms in because he didn't want me to like break my knuckles. He goes, and try to get those through. Try to get them through. It's his job to cover up. Because if you slip one through and you cut him, that's real good for us. And I'm like, okay.
Red in the face, green in the pocket, babe.
There it is. Green equals red. Or red equals green.
Yeah.
But then I got backstage and I had to do this segment with Neville and Hunter. And the adrenaline that kicked in, my mouth was so dry that I couldn't swallow. Like, but I felt like Jim Carrey and like Me, Myself, and Irene, like that. Yeah, that's how I felt. And so they finally got me some water and I did. But that was just such an amazing experience and just so cool. So yeah, so Cody and I stayed friends, and then he did some stuff on Arrow, and that was all during his run on the indie circuits. And we stayed in touch. I came and did stuff with him, became an honorary or just a member of the Bullet Club at a Ring of Honor show in San Antonio. And and just since then we've just been going for it. And I'm hoping, hopefully, if the show, if the show takes off or hits right, then I can do something with AEW. Although I got to tell you, I'm straight up, I'm flirting with divorce if I get back in the ring.
Oh, shit. Cass is not having it. Well, welcome to my world. Damn. Yeah. I mean, I knew what I was getting into, to be fair, but still, I feel her.
But the problem is that that she came to the Ring of Honor match that I did in San Antonio, where the first thing that I do is I go in and I think I gave it was either Christopher Daniels or Frankie. How do you say, is that Kazarian? Kazarian. Yeah. I was giving it. It was like a 6 versus 5 tag match, and I was giving him an RKO. So I go in.
Not an easy thing to pull off. Shit.
Never tried timing. Never tried it before. Did it. So it was just get in the ring, crowd pops, come out of the ring, and I turned to Matt of the Young Bucks, and I went and I looked at him. I went, "Am I bleeding?" And he went, "No, why?" And I said, "Because I can't feel anything from the tip of my head down to the tops of my shoulders, and it feels like there is steam coming off of my ears. I had jacked up my neck so badly doing this." So Cass has witnessed this. She's witnessed the fracture of the hip. She's the first call that gets made when I do the stunt and hurt my back. So, the one thing that I'll say is that I actually have a lot more ring experience now than I have when I've been actually doing these matches. So hopefully we can figure out some type of angle to run with Cody where maybe it's someone else getting the heat. Maybe I'm the one that's laying maybe it's me that's laying the beating. Right.
Yeah, you definitely got to work around that. I feel like you've earned those stripes at this point that you can pull that off a little bit.
And hey, I haven't had a chance to ask you how has it been since you've transitioned away from WWE?
It's cool. I mean, there's things that I miss, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much. I don't want to say that I don't miss the job. Of course, there's aspects of that I miss, but it's missing all the people. You spend that much time, 8 years with everyone on the road as often as we were. I mean, you spend 8 years traveling for Raw, for SmackDown, for pay-per-views. I mean, that's a lot of time in cars with people, time in hotel bars with people, like all that time that you really spend together. And then you take yourself out of that situation and you're like, do I not have any friends anymore? It's so weird. It's such a trip. I mean, obviously I stay in touch with everybody, but it's not the same as being able to just like casually hang out by the ring and see people and, you know, talk shit after the show, all that, like the fun aspect that comes from doing a show together. I do miss doing that because now I'm just like on my own island doing my own thing, but it's cool. And, you know, the timing of things, I mean, for me, looking at the way that things have shaken out, especially with WWE in the past year, I'm really glad that I left when I did.
I haven't been really, I haven't really been following. So if there's,
it's just, you know, it's more so just like all of the firings and cleaning house. And it just seems a little eggshellish to me. And I hate working like that. Like feeling like everyone's under so much pressure. No one wants to work like that. I understand the business side of having to do some of the things that they're doing, but it does suck to see so many people be let go. But it's also cool seeing people get this rejuvenation of their own careers of things that they wanted to do that they weren't able to do in WWE.
Well, I mean, I know personally that I obviously made a bunch of friends there. I certainly wasn't on the road for 8 years, but I've a couple people that I've just been in touch with, and I'd be like, you know, how are things? And like, I'm not with the company anymore. Shit.
Yeah, I know.
I've stuck my foot in my mouth like 3 times.
Yeah, it does, because even when it's like the mass firings, you're like, wait, so who got let go? Who didn't? You almost like don't even want to check. So you're like, was that real? Did that actually happen? You like see it on the dirt sheets or whatever.